All right. Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Gonzalez. I'm joined here with my friend Matthew Lambert, and I'm joined here today by Taylor Rodriguez. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Matthew.
What's going on?
Hey. And we're here today for the critical response exercise number 5 for Sociology 408 Death and Dying. And today we're choosing the first prompt for the CRE, the theoretical that you've been given 6 months left to live. That for the first half of those 6 months, the 3 months you have full use, and then in the remaining three you begin to start uh, losing, capability. So within this context, people usually have to ask themselves five or so questions. Firstly, what is your plan to tell others about your illness? Number two, what do you do with your time? How do you execute your plans? Are you going to be alone or with others? And who is going to be with you and why during that time? And then finally, for all of these plans, how are you going to fund them? So I'll riff off a little bit with my friend Matt here, tell him some of my initial answers to the question, see how he feels about them, and maybe if he has any if he feels the same or has any different approaches, and then maybe see if she agrees, disagrees, and then maybe how she would also approach them as well. So. What is your plan to tell others about your illness? Specifically, these two questions. Who do you tell and in which order? And do you plan to tell only friends and family, or will acquaintances and coworkers be aware too? To start off, me personally, I think I would probably only tell really my immediate family and some of my immediate friends. Immediate friends, of course, have friends from high school or friends even during college now. But we may more so be along the lines of acquaintances. Um, Coworkers, I'd probably tell them. Um, but maybe not necessarily in an emotional sense, just like a practical sense. Like
Right.
maybe some of my aim in not, really going into detail with some of the other folks is that sometimes it can cause like an unnecessary social burden. You kind of feel prompted to spend or to maybe shower this person with soft talking or platitudes. Um, and in a way, I personally just wouldn't prefer that. Not that those things aren't kind, or at least come out of a place of kindness. I don't really want to uh, go through social conventions, I guess, that aren't really all that necessary. I'd like to, spend the remaining time with friends and family and genuine interactions. So,
Right.
what are your thoughts on on that? Oh, you're
I
good.
would I would probably, like you said, kind of just go for the people that, I'm closest with in my life, you know.
I agree with what you said. I would rather tell the people who would like give me sincere reaction and time with them. I'd rather do it with people who are genuine and like genuinely want to show compassion and all that.
Mhm.
So I agree with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. There we go. There we go. Well, then the next question then is with your remaining time, right? So of course your time is kind of divided up, and you have to consider it in this way that it's a deterioration timeline. There's certain things that you can do, and then after a certain point, there's things you can't do. So you kind of have to divvy up. But what do you do with your remaining time? Are you gonna finish school? If so, will you have remaining time to do anything, or is that going to be the sole focus, right?
Mhm.
Or are you gonna drop out? Are you gonna go out and travel? That time, me personally. So 6 months, right? Say right here where I stand, right? 6 months. I'm not gonna finish school in 6 months. All right. Um, Maybe if I absolutely load up my schedule and get it done, right?
Yeah.
I could possibly die with my bachelor's. I don't care. I mean, as much of an achievement as it is, personally, I don't really care. I would use my remaining time to travel slightly. I wouldn't really go out to very far places or do very extensive things, but I would kind of just go to places that I already know. or that I already appreciate and just kind of spend time there. I may go to one or two new places, but I don't, I try to kind of actively stay away from the idea of maybe like a bucket list or something. Because for me, at least personally, I feel like um, it'll become like an ever extending uh, list, right?
Mhm.
It'll become a thing to just do. And at that point, it's like, well, you're not really enjoying stuff. You're trying to knock it off the list. So for me, I just want to find one or two things. I might go up to my grandparents' house for a couple of weeks or so. May try and make a couple of trips down to the beach, Galveston Beach. But yeah, kind of small, pretty simple things like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you resonate with that a lot, or is it maybe you do want to fill out that bucket list?
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I'm not really, well, for me, it's like I'm not really in school. So I would probably just quit my job, you know, take this job and, I'm done. I can't
And
do it anymore.
shove it. What's that
Yeah,
song?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the song, right? Like you said, bro, go take some road trips, go do some stuff. Because like there's a lot of places that I've been to already that I definitely would like to visit again.
Hmm.
And I would probably like, space it out.
All right. Well, this is the next question. So, for these plans, right, whether or not they're big or whether or not they're small, how do you plan on executing them? So, for example, you mentioned maybe going to Japan, right? But there are practical steps that go
Mhm.
towards that. Maybe like getting a passport, make sure you have the money to go on the plane ride, but also enjoy the time there, right? Or maybe they want to, older folks, right? Older folks. I've seen a couple of like 80 plus folks jumping out of airplanes, right? Because they want to do that one time before they go. But
Right.
obviously, all of this takes um, practical steps, right? How do you execute those plans? For me personally, my plans are kind of pretty minimal in that I don't really have to plan for them all that much. That I love plane rides, so maybe I try to fit in one or two there. But if I couldn't, that's totally fine. For me, I just don't want to spend a bunch of time prepping to do one big thing because usually I don't really care about the one big thing.
Build a race car or something,
Oh,
like
cool. Yeah.
something within my interests, like build a race car, um, you know, build it every single day that I can while I'm still mobile to
Mhm.
where at a certain point I can send it down a track and go the fastest I've ever went in my life
Yeah.
and say that I could do it.
So let me ask. So are you this next question, are you alone or with others? Right? Who, if so, who is with you and why? Into maybe the core of this, which is saying like, do you want to make a lot of your last moments being spent with others? Are there things that you want to do personally alone? For me personally, I would spend a little bit of time with my family, right?
Mhm.
I wouldn't spend an extended amount of time with my family, because I don't want those last moments that I have with,
Mhm.
I don't want those to eventually become a logistical thing
Mhm.
because then you're able to focus on spending time with them, you know? But if you stay kind of longer, there becomes kind of a logistical concern. There is kind of a way that people approach those last moments, right? That if they're not necessarily overstayed, but if they just go on for longer, then they start to have less, maybe not reverence, but maybe good behavior, I suppose, with it. Well, thank you. All right, thank you
Of
for your
course.
time. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this too. It really made me kind of sit down and think like, how do I want to spend my time, Like
Mhm.
days go by and you choose how to spend them. So I hope I did not leave you with too much
No.
existential dread.
No, it's okay.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Thank you so much.